Everybody doing? Did I press the button to advance? I do. Hi. Nice to be here at the Plurality Research Network Conference. I am Lemmer Webber of the Spritely Institute. This is a lightning talk. We barely have any time at all. So I'm going to assume you already agree that centralized social media, it's broken, right? And so we are here to talk about how to build individual empowered safe online communities, and we've created a nonprofit to do that. It is called the Spritely Network Communities Institute. I am CTO. So you may know me for my prior work on ActivityPub, which is, if you've heard about Mastodon and Plurality and all these other things, all talking to each other as like decentralized alternatives to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, etc. They're using a protocol that I helped co-author at the W3C. So I have some experience there. Did a bunch of other open sourcey things. Randy Farmer, executive director over there, has been doing this stuff all the way back since the mid-1980s, building the world's first virtual worlds, later making distributed virtual worlds, JSON, all sorts of stuff. So you may think me coming up here and saying, okay, and this is what we're going to do next with ActivityPub. Well, ActivityPub is great. I worked on it, right? It's great if you want to build decentralized social networks, like decentralized, all of those types of things I talked about. But there's, first of all, several things that it kind of can't do. As in terms of if nodes go down, how do users and their content survive, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Better privacy and security. And a bunch of these things motivated me starting doing work on what was the Spritely Project leading to Spritely Institute. But this talk is not about how to improve ActivityPub as a standard, how to fix Mastodon and other applications like that. Instead, what we're going to be talking about is something more fundamental, re-decentralizing network communities and re-decentralizing actually how we even approach building network community software, or even whether or not all software should actually be network community software. So in our system, we have a new foundation. Safe and distributed is the default. When you write code in our system, you get this secure and distributed systems. And your applications represent you, no gatekeeper involved. Of course, we support things at the different levels. People, communities, the applications that they use to be able to work with each other. But I'm going to show you a very, 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 very fast mock demonstration, compressing a heck of a lot from a larger talk. So here is Alicia. She is a math teacher. She plays tabletop games with her friends, and she's an author of fan fiction. And she lives in each one of these worlds, and each one of these are valid. Not everybody knows her in each one of these worlds, so she has different personas managed through her peer-to-peer user agent here. She's able to participate in a community, right? There's no global assumption of context in our system, community-oriented governance. There's no global assumption of naming or anything either. Closer to the way that naming ends up working in the real world, as in terms of the way that you and I might collaborate in the way that we've done for ages. You can safely install untrusted applications. Here's a person linking a game right from a chat app, and they are able to install it, and it's not able to have any viruses or screw with their system or whatever. Applications are not able to impersonate each other, despite even being able to be embedded within each other and being able to collaborate with each other. So this approach means that your application is able to manage context for you so that you reduce the amount of context confusion, provide mechanisms for you to be able to grant consent to others and to other projects and to other organizations, handle naming, blah, 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 all these types of things. And safe cooperative applications, which is really interesting stuff. But you might be thinking, okay, Christine, that was a sketchy mock-up. Is any of this real? Well, actually, yes, it is real. So we're in year one. We're very focused on the core foundational technology. We do know how to build all this stuff. At the core level, we have papers. You can read them. We would actually love it if you would read them. Everything we talk about in the papers actually runs. And we have the network protocol that we have that allows for secure, consent-oriented online technology. We're working on the pre-standards process. Yes, of course, you are able to use this to be able to build traditional social network communication type stuff, but you are also able to use it to build stuff that you wouldn't think of along those lines. Here, Diana's saying that, I was able to build a distributed end-to-end encrypted social storage system in a couple of evenings that would have normally taken me a couple of years using this technology. And in fact, here's an example. The first week on the job, one of our developers, we said, hey, build an example application after you've gone through our tutorial. And in one day, they built a peer-to-peer distributed collaborative gardening application, just as an example. They didn't have to write anything on the protocol level. That all just fell out of the system. So we are a research institution. We have a lot of academics here. You want to talk? Let's talk, right? We are also a nonprofit, 501c3. You can donate to us and get tax exempt by the US government, right? So, we do have some organizations funding us. We need more funding. You want to talk? We can talk? Let's talk. Thank you, everybody.